is Comic Uno. Today I'm doing a review for Batman Black and White issue 3. And before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a little update. Of course, I have Comic Uno episode 21 on DarkAvengerINC, which is a show where I review all the comics I read this week in one show. Here are those comics, those exclusive comics for that show, which is Alex plus Aja issue 1, which is Image Comics, digital copy I have. Then we have Action Comics issue 25. We have Trillium issue 4. Then we have Green Lantern issue 25. And Morning Glories issue 34. So if you want to go check out those reviews, definitely go to Comic Uno episode 21, which will be annotated. But let's talk about Batman Black and White issue 3. Another glossy cover here. A lot of glossy covers that came out DC this week. So we have the glossy cover. It is a $5 book, but again, like 5 stories here. So you get 5 short stories in black and white. But I like the cover. We have the Penguin, I think, here. Which doesn't quite make sense to me because the Penguin doesn't even have a story in here, but yeah, go figure. But still a cool cover, I guess. I guess it's a little misleading if you're a Penguin fan, though. Alright, but yeah, actually I wasn't gonna do an in-depth review for this one. I was gonna put in Dark Avenger Inc., but I decided to do the in-depth review because it's kind of hard to do a Batman Black and White non-in-depth review because you gotta talk about every story, and that ends up being an in-depth review. But let's talk about the first story here, which is Rule Number 1. So we have a Robin type character. I actually don't know if it's Dick Grayson, Jason. I don't know which Robin is. I'm gonna go with Jason. I don't know why. I just feel like it's like older Jason. But we have this, you know, him going to bust a drug deal, but he doesn't actually know what he's doing because Batman never told him the rules. And Batman ends up saving the day because he almost kills himself or almost dies because he doesn't really know what he's doing. The people want to steal his bike because they really like it. So, and he ends up stealing the bike actually, but he ends up surviving. So I think Batman was just trying to teach him a lesson, but let's just say he didn't do so great in that scenario. But yeah, let's talk about that story. Actually, this was my second favorite out of all of them. I enjoyed this one. I still don't know which Robin it was. Maybe they should have said Tim, Jason, Dick, someone. That way I know who it is. But really love the art here. I thought it was, you know, these are short stories I want. You know, something interesting. And I think we got that here. So I enjoyed the first story. I thought it was a very good lead-in to the other ones. Alright, so the second story is an abstract story of mirrors. You know, Bruce, he's just looking at himself, seeing all his villains, saying, am I the prey or the predator? And in the end, we just see that he's looking into a clock, really, and just looking into himself, I guess. So, for me, I thought that was a little bit more of an abstract issue or abstract story where we could show some of the art here. Very abstract. I think it worked with the black and white, but I wasn't particularly a fan of the story. I don't think it was really needed to be told. It was literally just looking at his villains as like, oh no, I'm the prey or the predator. I don't know. It's like the same thing we've been getting with Batman. I don't think it was really anything unique to me, so I didn't quite enjoy the second one after the first one. You know, the first story was really solid. Then we get into the second one, I was like, wasn't so interested. Now the third one's actually about this murder of a councilman, and it seems like the Joker was framed. I can't actually tell who this is. I think it's the Joker. The Joker framed himself that he could get the death sentence or something, but ends up being the wife who kills the congresswoman, the congressman, and the Joker set her up. I don't know. I was a little confused by this one, and I think, honestly, I was confused by this one because of the art. This actually works a lot better with color. Just the way it's put together, it's just a lot going on, and I think with color, you know, things would pop out. So with this, I just didn't like the art, and I got a little confused by the story because of it also. I didn't really know who was who. It was just a little bit too cluttered for me. So I didn't really like this, and again, you could tell by the end, like, I thought that was the Joker. I didn't really know his plan that much. I think I felt like I jumped into a story, like, in the middle of a story arc, so it was a little weird for me. And even if I didn't, you know, even if I did understand the story, I felt like it was just very generic Batman story. It wasn't anything that special. So that was the third story. So number 4 is this really old-time type Batman story. And we get to see this alien, they're trying to abduct people, but really it's like this meta-type issue because it has to do with the artist and how abstract art is like the new thing and Batman doesn't like it. Because I think by the end of this issue we get to see the artist who's in the end like saying, oh look, I'm the villain. So I think it was just trying to be meta and try to do that, but I didn't quite understand that one. I wasn't so interested in it. I mean, I understood it, but I just wasn't so interested in that one. And this is like one of the last issues you're reading, and it was just a lot to read, and I was like, I'm just not into that one. If you like Batman 66, the Adam West version of the comic, I think you might like this. It had kind of the same quirky style to it. I particularly wasn't a fan of that one, so I liked the art. I just didn't really like... I was actually rooting for the story too, because I really liked the art. I thought it could be fun, but I just didn't like the story that much. Alright, the last story is Role Models, which is this girl, she loves Batgirl, she gets kidnapped because this guy says, oh, you want to be Batgirl? Sure, come. She ends up running away into Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy actually save the day against the man trying to steal the girl. So we get to see that they were actually robbing a bank at the time, and Batman's like, alright, well, I still have to send you to jail, and he lets them go pretty much just because they did save the girl and they didn't have to. And they're villains, you wouldn't really expect it, but I think Poison Ivy and Harley are two characters that would do that. So, had a lot of fun with that last one. I would say the first and second one were, the first and last one were really good stories, the last one especially, but everything else was just very generic, or I just didn't really care. So, I have to give this a 2.5. This is actually my worst pick of the week. I just didn't have a lot of fun with these short stories, and they are hit and miss stories because there are so many of them. But I think it was also disappointing because you are paying $5 with it. You get enough story, but I don't know if you got a good story, I would say. So, or enough good story. So I have to give this 2.5. I would give this my worst pick of the week. And I think I'm going to skip on Batman Black and White. I think I've gotten my fill for it. Maybe I'll pick it up once the issues do come out, if I hear good things about it. But I think 3 issues are enough for me. I don't think I'll be picking up Batman Black and White. But it was a fun ride, and the first issue really did impress me, and this one just was a little lackluster. There was one good story, but everything else was eh. And even the first story, like, it was good, but it wasn't like anything that blew my mind. So I don't think it's worth the $5 for you guys. So I do give it a 2.5. This was my worst pick of the week. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno, and guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the rant situations, and don't forget to like my Facebook page, and I'll see you guys later.